Right, Blighty Boxing with Frank Warren and Queensbury Promotions here at the new Southampton home of Battens Boxing. Wayne, this place is quite something. You must be delighted with how it's going.
Yeah, I'm really happy. It's been a long time coming actually, Rich. I've always shared a gym over the years, and finally I've got my own premises now, so hopefully it's the beginning of a real exciting journey, and yeah, really happy with the gym.
Do you feel like now you've got a base, your own base, and the gym will now have an identity? You know, a place that will become known as the home of Southampton boxing?
Definitely, 100%. And like I say, obviously we're only 100, 200 yards away from the football club itself. We can see the roof from the gym. And like I say, from the other side of the building, I can see the roof of where I first started in a school, in a community hall. So it does feel nice that I'm bang in the middle. Wonderful premises now.
I must admit, I mean, you're only a week in. I thought I'd be coming to a bit of a shell, a bit of a building site, but I mean, what you've achieved so far is remarkable. I mean, you must have been here day and night, haven't you? Yeah,
I was, to be fair. Put a lot of hours into the gym, like I say, some long nights, and obviously with trying to train the boys elsewhere in a borrowed premises in Petersfield, so which is a bit of a drive for us as well. So a lot of hard work's gone into it. Yeah, so it'll be worth it.
Get your rewards. Now, before we move on to your little team, you've been spending a bit of this week helping out your old mentor Ronnie Davis over in Brighton. First of all, for people who haven't seen your previous videos, explain your relationship to Ronnie and then what you've been doing.
Obviously, I used to run an amateur club back in early 2000. Met a professional boxer at the time called Henry Castle, who was being managed and trained by Ronnie at the time, Ronnie Davis. I got involved with Emery and started working with Ronnie. He was my mentor, like a father figure. We've still got a wonderful relationship now, and he's taught me so much in the game. He gave me that opportunity to be where I am now, really. Ronnie's 75 now and still doing it. I'm in that position. When you love something that much, then I want to be in the position he's been in and hopefully get to the level that he got to in boxing. But no, I'd always help out Ronnie, and it was great catching up with him this week.
That's kind of how it works in boxing. If you're fortunate to have an older, experienced head who's happy to share his experiences and his knowledge with you, that's how you make it in the game, I guess, isn't it?
100%, yeah. I mean, I'm grateful for what Ronnie's done to me. Like I say, he's taught me so much. And he's always there now, still at the end of the phone. You know, the experience he's got is priceless, so it's nice. You know, you gain experience every day as far as I'm concerned. You always learn something new. But you can't be an old wise head, and that's what Ronnie is, and I'm very, very lucky that he's there, really.
If you think of what that man's been through over the last probably 30 years with one particular family, I mean, a documentary, a book wouldn't cover it, I guess, would it?
It's unbelievable. I was only having this conversation with him just recently, actually. I think Ronnie's been involved in over 20 world title fights, and like you say, just especially with one family, that's unbelievable. Obviously, senior and now junior, that's remarkable. And you know, when I first was in the gym with Ronnie, working with Ronnie, I think at the time, junior was 15, and I'm not sure. I think he might be about 30.
Since the early 30s now.
Yeah, so you know, I've seen him develop and grow up, and yeah, remarkable. If I could put myself in Ronnie's shoes and have that in my lifetime, I'd be the happiest man alive, yeah.
And you've been sorting out a bit of sparring for junior back in Brighton, yeah?
Yeah, definitely, yeah. We went there Wednesday and we went there yesterday, obviously, to help Chris finish off for his fight next week. And I took two boys who hopefully are going to turn over very soon, and they're good amateurs. And
good experience for them.
100%, yeah.
They found it quite surreal, didn't they?
Yeah, they come away buzzing. They shared the rounds, and they you know, it's a mental thing as well. The boys are absolutely buzzing because they've been there and they know they shared a ring with a fighter of that calibre in Chris, and you know, they had a good chat with him afterwards, and Chris gave him some advice and answered questions. So like you say, it's priceless, really, yeah.
Now then, on to much more important matters. Next Friday, you have, I'm trying to think how many, three of the boys.
Three, yeah.
Three of the boys back in business. We'll start off with the golden child, Ryan Garner. He looks fantastic. We know Frank's said in interviews, but he's spoken to him and he seems, well, he looks delighted, with the prospect of having him back, fit and firing. What can you tell us? It's proof of the pudding, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah. I know it's easy to say, but I think this is definitely the best shape and mental state that Ryan Garner's ever been in.
Looks it. Sounds it.
Exactly. A few things have changed with his personal life, which obviously is the best thing that could have happened to him, as far as I'm concerned. It's still early days, obviously, with that, but I'm confident that this is the start of a new journey with him. Because to me, this is
like a reboot.
I know he's been a pro now. Coming up 5 years, believe it or not.
It's his 10th fight.
And really, we should be on the. We should have been a champion now, or on the verge of something big. Because that's what I believe in Ryan. But so it's weird. It feels like it's surreal that we've got a new premises. He's happy. I'm happy. We're 200 yards, 100 yards, like I say, away from the football ground. That was our goal, and that was our dream and our vision. And it just seems like he's just starting his pro career now. It seems weird.
Might as well look at it like that, because he's still young.
Yeah, he's still young. Yeah,
I've said to him, he was probably in the top 3 of Britain's most highly regarded prospects. Yeah, that's not an exaggeration, is it?
No, exactly. So he's only just 23, and I do believe in life sometimes that things happen for a reason.
Yeah.
And maybe with the little bit of stop-start that we've had, it might have been for the right thing, because obviously I think he's matured up now, and it just seems like you say, we're just starting again. It's weird, and hopefully within a couple of years we can be right where we wanted to be.
He will need get next Friday done, and then just have the momentum of like the next one. Just you need to keep him mentally stimulated.
Yeah, you're 100% right, Rich, because that's what I always said. I always believed, me as a coach, that an active fighter is a good fighter. And like you say, next week, I think that's Ryan's second fight in most probably 30 months. It's a long time. Obviously, boxed last February. Obviously, with the pandemic and so on. So 100%. I think he needs once we get a bit of momentum, back-to-back fights, I think then we'll really see the best of Ryan.
Would it be fair to say, but a lot of your recent progress with Ryan, in terms of getting him back to where he needs to be, has come about by putting the ball firmly back in his court, putting the onus back on him?
Yeah, 100%. I think that with the stable fighters that we got now, he knows I'm busy. I love him more than anything. I do love the kid to bits. But I got to a point where I think he thought I needed him more than he needed me. He knows, I'll do anything for the kid. But it got to a point where, like you say, there had to be a cut-off point.
And the tail was wagging the dog, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. I'll be the first to admit that I did do, because I got emotionally attached to him. Because I do, he's a great kid. But you only get pushed a certain far, and then we had a cut-off point, and I think that's played a big part as well. I think he understands now that there ain't no ifs and buts, or doing this or doing that. I've got a life, I've got a good gym, a good stable of fighters, and I mean, if we're gonna have a working relationship, he's got to be total professional and be on it. Otherwise, there's no phone call, me phoning him up, what you're doing, you come to the gym and so on. It's down to him. He's got to want to do it. It's down to him.
Now then, I'm going to sort of backtrack a little bit now, because we had Mark Chamberlain out a little while ago. It was a stunning first round stoppage of a really high quality gatekeeper, journeyman, whatever you want to call him.
Yeah.
Nobody does that to him.
No.
And Mark poleaxed him with a body shot in the first round. I mean, I don't know what you can say about it, but it was a great, showstopper, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a perfect punch, to be honest with you. When Mark first come to me, obviously he used to go headhunting quite a lot. I think he's quite an aggressive fighter, Mark. And I think he thinks punching people in the head is the way to go. But I always say to him, look, Mark, the head moves, the body doesn't move. But he did surprise me a little bit with that body punch, especially leading with it. And
you could have given him 5 minutes. He weren't getting up, was he?
No. no. You know, fair play to Jordan Ellison. You know, got full total respect for him, and I knew he was going to be a tough man. And to be perfectly honest, I was looking at maybe 4 or 5 rounds. I felt confident Mark would stop him, but I thought it'd be a lot longer than what it did. But Jordan did say to me, he said that shot made me nearly black out, go dizzy. He said it was just sickening, but yeah, it's a tough man.
I mean, Mark's sort of televised experience recently in terms of profiling himself and showcasing himself. He's had it really good over this last 9 months or so, and his name is out there now. So.
Yeah. Oh, to be fair, Mark's been one of the very, very lucky ones. And you know, and I'll
tell you, out of making the most out of lockdown.
Yeah.
You've got him, Denzel.
Yeah.
You know, they've really sort of capitalised.
Exactly, and I thank Frank for that, and I really do. And like I said, Mark was the very first fight. Yeah. You know what I mean, in this pandemic, and he's been kept active. So you know, Mark's very fortunate that that's happened, and he's developed with that because that's momentum again, like we were saying about activity.
His personal confidence has really come on leaps and bounds, hasn't it? I mean, if I think back 2 years, whatever, I mean, put a camera in front of him or a tape recorder, he wasn't really stringing 3 words together.
No, exactly.
But now it's water for duck's back. He doesn't care, does he?
Yeah. And like you say again, Rich, it's just experience, isn't it? And just relaxing and being yourself, and you know, just understanding what it is. But I'll tell you one thing though, him and Ryan had a spar.
Oh yes.
A couple of weeks ago, and it was the best Mark Chamberlain I ever seen. And Ryan brought the best out of Mark, and that's the first time I've actually sparred together since they've both been working with me. Mark sparred him when he was an amateur just before he won the ABAs, and he come down before he, you know, I didn't even know Mark then as a kid. They got in contact, they could spar Ryan. But it was an unbelievable spar. You would have paid to watch it, and it was
How many rounds did they do?
6.
Next time, let me know.
Yeah, I will do. Yeah, unbelievable. Yeah.
2 Frankums out on next Friday. We'll start off with Josh. I mean, he's in his 3rd fight, done everything that's been asked of him so far. I asked him early on, you know, we know you want to get the win out of it. What else do you want to take from this fight? He didn't really commit too much, but what would you like to see from him?
I'd like to just see a bit more variety, and a bit more. The thing is with Josh, obviously, is that my opinion at the minute, it's still a work in progress, but I think Josh is a little bit caught in 2 minds of what he actually is.
Needs to create some sort of identity, doesn't he?
Yes. He, like you say, he's very intelligent, Josh, and very knowledgeable about boxing. And I think where he's been involved with a lot of people, he's not quite sure what his own identity is as a fighter. But the penny's starting to drop, and you know, I think I'm looking forward to a good performance with Josh. Obviously, his opponent's never been stopped really. So it's just I'm looking for development with Josh with a bit more variety rather than just little, you know.
Yeah, and develop a style. That's,
exactly.
Levi Frankham. Not many of us know much about him or know what to expect. He's going to come in as a light middle. I mean, you tell us. I mean, is he going to be explosive? Is he going to be cagey? Is he going to be careful? What sort of fighter is he?
Just going back to what you were saying, like you don't know too much about him. I'll be honest with you, I've only been working with him a year. I'm still getting to know him, Rich, because he is a bit of
he's not a bit
reserved. No, exactly. So you know, I'm still getting to know him as well. And but one thing I will say about him, he is heavy-handed.
Yeah. People enjoy that, don't they?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he'd be exciting. He's got plenty of fight in him. But I'm just trying to, from my point of view, I understand that that's naturally there. I'm just trying to get him, you know, big at the weight southpaw. What more do you want? But as long as he understands boxing, you know, a little bit better, that's what I'm looking for. But he will be entertaining, I think, because his art will always edit at some point, and I know it will. It's all right, you know, us working on things now in the gym and saying, just calm down, do this and that, but I think he will. Yeah, I think he'll be exciting. Another one of my old fighters, obviously Joe Pickford. I think he's in the same sort of mould.
Yeah.
I think he'll be exciting for TV. Just
Yeah, I mean, Joe was sort of like quite emotional sort of
Yeah.
character in the ring, wasn't he? Sort of, he
Yeah.
put his everything into trying to get that knockout, didn't he?
Exactly, and that's Levi as well at the minute. Like, we're just trying to get him to calm down just a little bit, and not be too reckless.
But at the same time, you don't want to take away, you know, his unique selling point, do you?
You are what you are at the end of the day. You just want to add little things to it, Rich, and yeah, just like I say, another work in progress. They're young men. Yeah, I'm looking forward to next week.
And outside of the names we've mentioned, I guess, you know, when the small ball comes back, I mean, you got Jamie Chamberlain you need to do something with, don't you?
Yeah.
Very hard for boys like that, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I feel for them in this pandemic, obviously, because you know they've got no work at all, really, with someone like, you know, who's a prospect, really, and just learning his trade, and he's 3-0, and he sees his brother boxing on PT Sport.
That must be hard in a way. You'd be pleased for him, but
Yeah.
at the same time, yeah.
The only thing I can do is encourage him and say to Jamie, this is his time to be learning and developing in the gym, because you know that's where you really learn and develop. And
What is he, a year or so older than Mark, is he?
yeah, he is. Yeah.
And the amateur boys, we met them last time. There was Blue Bowers. Who was the other one? Lloyd Farrington.
Yeah.
I think those are the two I probably met. Are they doing okay?
Yeah, they're doing well. Obviously, their amateur club just opened back up. They're at the age where they're sort of like caught in between. They're coming up to 18 if they wanted to decide to turn over.
Have they been in here yet?
Lloyd's been in. Obviously, we've only been open this week, but Lloyd's been in once this week, but Blue hasn't been in. But obviously, they've got a busy next week and a half, but I'm sure they'll be back in after that. But I said, first and foremost, they've got to respect their amateur club and do what's required there, and then if it works out with time and the dates, they're more than welcome to come in.
Wayne, well, fantastic new venue, home of Southampton boxing.
I'm really happy.
Busy night coming up next Friday, 3 of them out. So you're doing a bit of hand wrapping and everything.
Yeah,
else,
very lucky. Yeah, it's going to be busy, but I'm really looking forward to it. I'm very fortunate that I'm in that position.
You don't need it, but wish you all the luck in the world, mate.
Appreciate it, Rich.
Cheers, mate.
Pleasure, mate.